Oh, yeah, all right. As Ellie Allen said.
Morning.
Welcome to episode 26. It's a fine Wednesday afternoon and sunny, well, I'm in sunny Dumfries. Greg, what's the weather like in Cardiff?
Delightful.
Sounds it. Kel's also in Dumfries, I believe. Rocking the Dumfries' finest. I'm the odd one out today.
Good.
Yeah.
We
So,
like it.
ooh. Start us off. I don't really want to talk about it, but another Old Firm loss. Could have saw it coming, to be honest. I think I said before. I know I predicted Rangers, but oh wait, let me sort that again. I know I predicted Rangers, but I did see it come in. It makes it more gutting the fact that it was a stupid defensive error that didn't need to be made. You're taught from when you're ye high to play the whistle, and they just didn't. 4 players cut out. Obviously, the players at the ball, Raskin waving his hands about with the other players, and then Tavernier still letting Jota in at the back post when he obviously knew he was there. So yeah, that's my sad points. What did you think? Did you get a chance to watch the highlights, Greg?
I never got a chance to watch it, but I have heard by all accounts it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, me and Kel watched it. I mean, you could have gave Rangers an extra hour and they still wouldn't have scored. Fashion Sakala deserves to have his contract ripped up. He missed yet another open goal. He missed one in the last game as well.
But he comes from Zambia.
I know. And I don't even, as I said in the group chat when I was a wee bit annoyed, I don't even care about his song anymore. Get him away. I'd rather had Scott Wright on.
It was a really
That says a
game.
lot.
Yeah, wasn't up to much. Celtic. To be fair, Rangers did take it to Celtic in the second half, but Celtic were just too strong defensively. Carter Vickers playing through an injury and still won man of the match.
Big legs.
Rangers hit the post as well. That's what led to Sakala's open goal miss.
When did
Johnson,
Rangers last win an Old Firm?
last season. Would have been the Scottish Cup final. Sorry, Scottish Cup semi-final last season.
Christ.
Because I'm
And
pretty
that
sure
that technically wasn't even a win. It went to extra time, did it not?
Still a win though. Still won.
When did they last win an Old Firm in 90 minutes?
last year in the league.
Yeah, we won. We'd won last year in the league.
Is that not the one that McCrory played, like the first one? I know, concerning times. Bill's got a lot to answer for this summer, so we shall see. That was quite a quick run through. I put Rangers beat again, defensive nightmare leading to goal. So yeah, it was just stupid. I mean, that's something you see in Sunday League. Players switching off just wasn't good enough in my eyes. Leads on to the Scottish Cup final, which will now be Celtic versus Inverness. Greg, you've got some strong views on some of the points to do with the Scottish Cup final.
I do, but I was hoping you were going to get there after I worked out when Rangers last won an Old Firm in 90 minutes, but you know.
We can come back to that, I suppose.
The 9th of February, I make it? 2022? No, that was Hibs, sorry. No, they got beat by Celtic then. I genuinely can't work out when it was.
Was it not the first Old Firm of last season when McCrory played?
Was it that long ago?
I think so.
It was 2-2 earlier on in the season.
29th of August, 2021.
That was right.
That's ridiculous.
What was it, 1-0 or 2-0?
1-0.
Who scored?
It was like
Hollander.
Oh, it was a header, wasn't it?
It's like Goldson in the thumbnail. Goldson celebrating.
Yeah, it was Hollander. Christ, that is ridiculous.
Not good enough.
But yes, sorry, I was going to rant about the Scottish Cup final. We've changed the kickoff time for no reason. England, usually Scottish Cup finals played at 3 o'clock. The English one last year started at 4:45 to get around the. To follow the Scottish one. This year there are no trains, and both teams come from up north, so the FA made the decision to move the English one to 3 o'clock, and the SFA therefore said, that's fine, we'll move the Scottish Cup final to 12:30. There's fans coming from Inverness. What the hell are you doing? No, don't pander.
Money.
It's on the BBC. Why would they care? Oh, I suppose BBC will show the English FA Cup final.
It's for both.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't seem right. Like 12:30 for a fixture involving Inverness shouldn't be happening.
I know, because don't care about the fans.
It's a waste of time anyway, because Inverness is going to win it. So
Super Cali go ballistic. I wonder if we'll get
Celtic
that.
are atrocious.
We'll get that replay.
Well,
I was watching something, I can't remember who said it, but they said, I think it might have been James McFadden, he said if Inverness, doesn't look like Inverness will even get a chance at Celtic, and if they beat them, it'll be one of the biggest upsets in history.
yeah.
Because of how good Celtic looked on Sunday, he reckons.
Not just because there's a gulf. There's a gulf between kind of 10th in the Premiership and top of the Championship. Never mind kind of mid-table Championship and Celtic.
yeah,
There's like 3 gulfs in between Celtic and Inverness.
end of the day,
results.
It's 11v11.
Me and Kel spoke about on Sunday about, remember, Morton beat them, and was it Clyde you said beat them?
Clyde 2-1. Roy Keane's first game or something.
Yeah. We'll see.
It just shows.
Right. And
Remember, Inverness are also aiming to be one of the first teams to win the Scottish Cup after being beaten in the second round. They were, of course, beaten 2-0 by Queen's Park.
Mind that.
And then
it was the eligible player, wasn't it?
Thrown out for playing an ineligible player, and now Inverness are in the final.
That would be a right moment.
It was similar to Denmark won the Euros.
I was talking about that yesterday because someone mentioned Brian Laudrup, and I was talking about that more.
It's slightly different to that
Bizarre.
because Denmark at least didn't get beaten put out before getting put back in.
But they didn't qualify.
Well, technically,
yeah, I know,
did
but
qualify.
But it's not the same as losing and then getting through anyway.
Almost in the same tree though, like same sort of branches.
Kind of, but like
I think we should take this to a Twitter poll.
I'll put a poll in the Spotify. Is that the same? I'm not saying is it better. I'm asking, is it the same? It's not the same.
Yeah, because both teams didn't qualify for the next round.
I agree with Kyle on this one.
Nah.
But if you watched last week, you know that me and Greg don't agree on anything, so.
That's true. We might agree on the next point I've got, which is the ticket allocations. I've just read that Inverness might only get 10,000 tickets for this final.
There's no might, they are getting 10,000 tickets.
They're getting 10,000 minimum. Basically, from what I've read, teams automatically get 10,000 tickets. If the team wants more, they can then buy them from the SFA, but they'll lose money if the tickets are unsold. Sorry, I'm being distracted by my cushion in the background, which just looks completely terrible, and I apologise to all viewers for that.
So last week it was his pen, and this week it's his pillow. I wonder what P-related item will distract him next week.
It's this cushion here.
Well, the Caledonian Stadium has a capacity of 7,512. So I saw a Celtic fan argue on Twitter that they shouldn't even get 10,000 because they only have a 7,000-seater stadium.
Right, so Celtic, like, it makes no sense. But the fact is, Celtic can then buy 40,000 tickets, and Inverness can, like, if Inverness sell 10, they can ask for more and get more. But that isn't how it works. It's a final, it should be 50-50, and if Inverness can't sell them, then there is a debate to be had as to whether Celtic get the extra seats or not. I would still say no. But then there are obviously people who would say, oh, but you can't have empty seats at a final. Well, tough. Inverness didn't sell them. There is no point. Like, if Celtic just get 50,000 seats and Inverness get 10, it's basically a home game.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It just degrades the cup.
Here's a question that I probably should have prepped for, but I didn't. Well, maybe I need to find out for next week. How many tickets did Hearts get last season?
I actually don't know.
That'd be quite interesting to compare it.
Hearts are another club that probably could afford to get enough, because I think enough Hearts fans would go. There was obviously a lot of people criticised the amount of empty seats for Inverness v Falkirk, but it was held at Hampden. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't get this argument. You know, there's the same argument in England about, oh, this final should be played at a neutral venue. It's slightly different in Scotland. I kind of sympathise in England because it's such a long way for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Hampden isn't terrible for most people. You know, Inverness is a rare exception. And in most cases, there aren't a huge number of empty seats. But to have Man City, Sheffield United at Wembley and half the tickets not be sold, that game could have been played at Old Trafford or Villa Park or Hillsborough or somewhere.
Yeah, a bit closer to home. I mean, it may make more sense travel-wise, but at the same time, I think half the battle is for folk want to be in the final as they want to play at Wembley.
Yeah, in the semi-final, and I suppose if you're a wee team, you get the day out.
Yeah,
You know, we were there. We went to Wembley. We went to Hampden.
it's
Whichever
like Queen's
one
going to Hampden, isn't it?
It is.
I imagine
Like
like
twice.
yeah, well, obviously it was Rangers that played in the final, so there was always going to be that same scenario. But I imagine it was a smaller team, like it would have been a bit of a kick in the teeth to then go and play it at like a smaller stadium. But I don't
For the semi-final, you know.
Yeah, the semi-final would have made sense because look how you saw how empty it was.
But would you have had Falkirk Inverness for the Scottish Cup semi-final this year in Perth or somewhere?
It would have made more sense.
I'm breaking tradition though.
But then you're you're breaking tradition and you're taking away the fact that they get 2 trips to Hampden.
I feel like yeah, with most of the issues with ticketing in Scotland, it comes down to the fact that the old firm think they're right and everyone else is wrong.
They're the big boys, so you can't argue with the big boys.
We might make this the actual Twitter poll. Would you be happy to have empty seats at a Scottish Cup final if it meant a 50-50 allocation?
Because as soon as I put the hashtag Celtic to try and get more people to see the tweet, it'll just be you know what vote is going.
Yeah, I know, but
I would rather have a full stadium, to be honest.
You would rather Celtic had 50k, Inverness had 10k, and there was no empty seats. I'd rather have the empty seats.
Nah, because I don't know. It's just my opinion, but
I don't know. I get the argument for both. I do get the argument for both.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but like Inverness can't sell it.
Just backs up the point. It just backs up the point that folk calls a farmers' league.
But I'm sorry, it's not our fault that a small team got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have the fans to fill the stadium. Just kind of these seats could go to Celtic fans.
Those seats could go to Celtic fans who turn it into a home game and give Inverness, who already have fuck all chance of winning the game, even less chance of winning the game.
Let's be honest though, if Inverness had all those tickets that they couldn't sell, Celtic fans would buy them anyway.
No, they wouldn't, because Inverness fans would, you know, there's ways
there's always that. No, there's Rangers and Celtic fans in the home ends that like Livingston and that. There always is.
When you go to Queen's games when they played Rangers, it was hundreds of Rangers fans in the Queen's end.
Yeah.
Not naming names, but
Robert.
I think I found that was neutral.
No, but like you just get
Where
a lot of
nothing.
You just get a lot of folk just buying the home tickets just so they got a ticket to see their team.
No, exactly.
You do, but I don't think it would make any difference. Like, I'd rather have the empty seats. I'm sorry.
Can't remember what team we were playing, but when it was lockdown and you know there was restricted tickets, when I was there was a group of away fans that were in the home end. But obviously, weren't allowed away fans. They weren't subtle about it. They started cheering when they scored.
Probably Kelly or something.
I want to say like Airdrie or something like that.
They wouldn't have been in our league, would they?
No, I was starting thinking.
That's what made me think Kelly, because Kelly are a big team.
Nah,
Kelly were at least there. Was it when you had to apply for them?
Yeah.
It's when they distribute poxy dots.
Oh well,
still
right,
there.
But yeah,
Scottish,
carry on.
No, go for it. I'm changing the subject.
I was going to say the only people who'd moan about the empty seats were Celtic fans. You know, if you're another team, if you're a Hearts fan and want to moan that Celtic should get more tickets, you shouldn't have went out of the competition. You should have also been in the final, and then you could have had those tickets.
It's feeling very windy up mood today. What I was going to say is, have we got any more points for that conversation?
I don't.
I think we've came to an end. I'm just going to say, speaking of Scottish football, I'm going to the Rangers Aberdeen game on Sunday, so might upload some pics to the socials.
I hope it turns out like the last Rangers Aberdeen game for you.
And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. What we got next? Right. Link. I said link. Is it last games of some of the leagues coming?
Yes.
Does anyone want to say anything about that?
Scottish Championship. Last game on Friday night. What a night it's going to be. You know, you've got 10 teams in the Championship. If you're listening to this after Friday night and you know what happened, sorry.
Don't spoil it for us. We've not seen it yet.
Yeah, what he said. There's 10 teams in the Championship. 9 of them have something to play for. It's going to be brilliant. You got Dundee Queen's Park on the telly. Basically a straight out title fight.
Yeah, this has been billed as.
It'll be like WrestleMania.
It'll be a shit 0-0 and Dundee will be delighted with it.
Is it not Hamilton Arbroath and all? Is that like a big relegation game?
Yes, Arbroath Hamilton is also on, and Hamilton need to win that to have any chance of
staying up.
I say that a point would also do them a favour unless Cove managed to get something against Morton at home.
Never know. Paul Hartley might come in clutch.
It's the patter that Queen's Park could win the title, but they could also finish 4th.
That is mental. I'm sorry, that is mental.
They finished 5th actually.
They could. It would require quite a big swing, but they could finish 5th. Yeah.
Dundee could have
7-goal
leather.
swing. Or Inverness could leather whoever they're playing. Oh no, Inverness are playing Ayr, so they can't finish 5th. They can only finish 4th.
Still mental.
Dundee could come 3rd. No.
No. Dundee are guaranteed 1st or 2nd. Let's be honest, as Queen's fans, we all hope that Ayr are the team that misses out on the playoffs.
They could come 6th. Hopefully they come 6th.
What was I going to say there? Oh, it's gone. Nah.
Who's played Wraith?
Who's playing Wraith? Is it Partick?
Hopefully Wraith just gonna lie down so Partick can win.
Yeah, Wraith have nothing to play for. It must be quite weird being the only team in the league with nothing to play for. I also read on Twitter again, here's me being provocative again, I read on Twitter again, I'm interested in your views. Is this a sign that the quality in the Championship has been terrible this year? I know it's really competitive, but the argument is that that's because none of the teams are particularly good. Queen's Park had a ridiculous lead at one point. The fact is they've won 1 of their last 5 and are still somehow 2nd.
Or maybe every team is just ridiculously good now.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it's such a high competition, high level that it's not competitive.
Since Queen's dropped out of the league.
But then you look at Dundee's record; it's pretty poo.
Yeah, Dundee's record's not great. 7
losses to be top of the league's quite rotten.
The fact that Morton have the 2nd lowest number of losses are around 6th.
They've drew here times in fucking Bob Ross.
But yeah, it's
That one.
I think it goes back to one of the golfs I spoke about earlier, which is whichever team goes up, I think they're probably going to be right in it at the bottom of the Premiership next season.
I think Dundee might stand a chance because they've ex-Premiership. But...
Yeah, that's true.
Do you see United?
No, just Dundee.
That's what I thought. I said Dundee United.
Queen's Park would struggle because I don't think they're that good.
They're not, but they've probably got the money in the league.
Yeah.
In the Championship anyway.
Depending on what happens with their stadium, because if they end up having to go to Big Camden, that's probably going to cost them a fair bit of money. The other thing being,
they'd make that back in your both Old Firms games, against the Old Firms, and your Hearts and your Hibs like that. Will make money back, I would say.
Depending on how the SFA charged them, because if the SFA charged them ticket price, The other thing being Dunfermline coming into this league, you'd back them to do quite well, right?
Maybe Falkirk as well.
Maybe Falkirk.
Yeah.
Again, whichever. Beat Cove or Arbroath.
Yeah, I think they would.
If they get that far, they might get put out in the first round. You never know.
That is correct. You never know. This comes back down to the argument for reconstruction again, though. Reconstruction, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to come on to that in the summer, right?
And we are going to talk about that in the summer because I think it's worth discussing.
Yeah.
We promised that to you.
Yes, that will be fulfilled. If there's any other topics you would like us to address in the summer, please feel free to comment down below or tweet us or DM us or whatever.
We put a tweet out.
Yeah.
Got a rocking 6 weeks to fill in, so.
Yeah,
Or we'll give you
we've
another
got-
survey for podcast feedback and topic ideas.
Yes, we've got a gap that we want to fill, and we're not stopping for the summer. The predictions will stop until the start of the season, but we will come on to them because they're getting tasty, baby.
But you got there's transfers. That's always relevant.
Yeah, there's transfers. We've got a reconstruction chat we've already promised. There's
Got
another one we
predictions
said.
predictions for the leagues coming up.
Yeah. Some league previews.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe need to wait till the League Cup's over to do that, but we'll obviously have the League Cup to look forward to as well.
The pre-season, we could even discuss pre-season.
We could. Other things, kind of League One's not that interesting. You've kind of got
It's over.
the
It's pretty
battle
much
for-
over, isn't it?
yeah, third versus fourth. And apart from that, that's about it. You know, Queens, Montrose, and FC Edinburgh could finish any combination of 5th, 6th, or 7th, but it's not that interesting. And then League Two still has a battle for some. They don't even have a battle for the playoff places anymore. They are Dumbarton, Annan, and East Fife after Forfar and Sterrismuir have both gone on bogging runs. And then, yeah, you kind of have the battle at the bottom, but that's very likely to be Albion, who end up having to play either Spartans or Brechin.
But you could say that Albion might just win because Stirling have nothing to play for, so just take it easy.
That is true. That is one of our games in the predictions. You are more than welcome to think of that.
I'll keep that close to my chest.
Keep that close to your chest. I think that was everything from the Scottish leagues. English leagues
Yeah.
obviously finished this week as well. You kind of got, again, not that much off the top of my head.
No, it's
The
not Scottish
English lower
though.
leagues do.
Oh yeah. Watching Big Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, Big Sam
Champion.
going to save Leeds.
Yes. What do we think of that?
Backwards. They're going further backwards.
But
I think it'll make no difference. They're going down
too
anyway.
too late in my opinion. Too late to do anything about it with 4 games left.
And they're what? Man City, Newcastle, West Ham, and Tottenham.
See if he keeps them up. I want him to do that laugh that he did at Chico Flores.
I was like
That one good. Like that one good.
That
What's Chico Flores? Wasn't it? I don't
It's just their luck they'll stay up though.
know. I know.
They'll get
Nah,
it.
to be fair, they were
They'll
pushing
go
a
and
lot
beat
last season.
But yeah, English leagues, kind of lower leagues finishing this week as well. One thing that you've highlighted, Robert, is the Sheffield United were presented with a second place trophy.
Yeah, right. I was about to say, I've never seen this before. I've never noticed there being a second place trophy in the championship.
So I listened conveniently before this was raised in the running order. I'd conveniently actually heard this debate on Radio 5 Live between Brad Friedel and Glenn Murray, of all people. And Glenn Murray was adamant that he'd never received anything, and Brad Friedel said he still had the medal from when he finished second. Because
Yeah, but
Glenn
you
Murray
get-
was basically.
Sorry. I'm getting round up. You go for it.
He was basically saying you get a trophy for winning the championship, you get a trophy for winning the playoffs, and you get nothing for finishing second. And Brad Friedel said, well, I've still got my silver medal.
Well, yeah. Whoever comes second in a race usually gets a silver medal.
Yeah, I don't agree
But-
with the playoff trophy
Really?
because you can come sixth and then get a trophy.
But it's kind of a
You've won the
competition in its
playoffs.
own right, yeah.
Okay, but well done, you came sixth, and it's very. Just my opinion.
Well, well done, you came sixth and then won 2 games.
Yeah, well, you won 2 games in a row. Well done.
We should do a poll on this as well, actually. Just go mental on polls this week. Every day's a poll.
He's come sixth and they'll get the trophy.
Say that again?
Queens came sixth. They've not got a trophy.
But they also didn't win the playoffs.
Yeah.
Didn't win fucking much.
No.
That type of thing's tradition, though. You know, I think it's kind of valued.
Yeah. No, I agree with the playoff because they've won the same competition. I don't agree with second place because it's like stupid.
There's nothing wrong with having a medal.
No, you should get a medal. I 100% agree with that because that's how football works. The teams that come second in the cup final get a medal. They get a runners-up medal.
It's more I don't know why they've done it. Are they not having I'm sure Ollie Norwood, who was also on this Radio 5 Live debate, said they were having an open top bus. Why are you having an open top bus for finishing second? Celebrate your promotion and move on.
Yeah, exactly. That's a strange one, that. But speaking about winning the league, Queen of the South Ladies won their league, so you know, local team. Just want to give them a wee shout out there on the air. Did well. Hopefully we'll win it
One of
again.
them's in well.
Sorry.
least one of the teams is doing well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe we need to try and get to some of their games next season as a podcast.
They don't play at Parsons. I don't know where they play.
I'm not sure actually.
That's
Maybe
just
look at
You'll
that.
have to find that out.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Right, it's quite a quick episode this week. We've not got as much to talk about, so we want to move on to. So last week, obviously, if you watched it, Greg celebrations. Greg, one of our regular listeners said that your celebrations were everything he wanted and more. So shout out
Who said
Matthew.
that?
Matthew said that. He said he really enjoyed his celebrations. Shout out for still watching Matthew as well.
Just warn Matthew
Right.
for me then.
What?
Just consider that a warning then.
Right,
Get
so
it round you, Kyle. He's still rattled.
yes,
Also,
so this
let us
week Kyle's
know.
doing it. I'm getting tongue tied there. Right, Kyle, you take over. It's your week. It doesn't count if I win because I don't have the disco lights.
Well, you know the rules. There's no point going through them. Or will they? If you know the rules,
Up to
I'll,
you.
I'll just say
Go through them for any new listeners.
well, I'll give you a topic, then you give the answers. I don't quite know the rules, but we'll take it in turns to answer.
Right.
Sorted.
Right.
First one, there's 42 answers.
Oh, Christ.
I want all 42 Scottish teams in like the top 4 divisions.
Right.
And I did this, I
Robert, you're
got
the
41.
challenger.
Right. Rangers.
Nope. Bear with me. Keep going, yeah.
Celtic.
Aberdeen.
Yes.
What's he typing?
I'm
Me?
not, I'm writing.
No.
Hearts.
Did you wait? Who's? No, never mind. No writing though, because that's cheating.
No,
That's
'cause
not
I'm
cheating.
Because you could be writing in the teams, and then you came what you said.
Well, I am. That's the point.
No, because we've had this discussion
But every
before.
other week we've said you had to do it off by heart and memory.
I've never said that.
You did so. I can flip it.
Clip it. At no point have I said that.
You did. You said you had to do it off by memory. That was the whole thing that Kyle kicked off about that week.
No, Kyle was annoyed because I said he couldn't have another go because he said one that had been said. He
Yeah,
could have written
it
that.
falls
That's the
falls
exact
in-
same principle.
It falls into the same category.
No, it's not. Anyway, Hibs.
No, 2 seconds. I'm going to get my pen.
Can you remember what's been said?
You'll need to give me a minute. I'm not having this cheated out. He wins 1 week and he thinks he's all this.
The rules.
No, at no point did we say that wasn't allowed.
One win and the rules get flung out the window. But
This
yes,
week is written off.
Hibs was,
Written off is such a convenient pun.
and I've not got another question so we can change it either.
You don't have to.
Dundee United.
St Johnstone.
Yes. I'll say if there's a delay, it's me trying to scroll them off my list.
St Mirren.
Hold on. Right.
Ross County.
Motherwell.
Good, thanks.
Kilmarnock.
Oh, 2 dings for that.
Oh,
Thanks.
someone likes Kilmarnock. Dundee.
Queen's Park.
Partick Thistle.
Ayr.
I'm going to throw a span in the works and jump a link here. Airdrie.
Fucking hell. Make things hard for me.
Flip him off.
Morton.
Stop it.
Falkirk.
It's not as bad now.
Cove.
Bonnyrigg Rose.
Fuck.
Annan.
Oh shit, I've bloody right clicked.
Stranraer in Scotland.
The only thing is, if he's getting more right, I've kind of not prepared for that, so.
That'll be a
know.
draw.
I'll probably falter at some
Are
point.
you writing? Sorry, are you writing with a highlighter?
I don't have a pen because I didn't come prepared to cheat.
It's not cheating.
We've never done this. Oh, but there you go. Shove that up your arse.
I don't know
Oh,
who's.
right, we're not-
I don't know who's
It's
what
Mike
It's him.
Livingston.
Livingston. That's the last of the Premiership teams.
Yes, it is.
Queen of the South.
Hamilton.
Porter Athletic.
That's your thing. I got a bit excited.
Wait, that's
Go
his
ahead.
thing.
You've both got a ding each because I clicked it twice by accident because I've got heavy
Right.
hands.
Peterhead.
Peter Reid.
I just wrote Peter Reid down.
Monkey's Head.
Clyde.
Dunfermline.
Yeah, I feel like this is a draw coming in burned.
FC Edinburgh.
I can't write that quickly.
Stalin.
Clock is
Sterling.
ticking. Gonna have to rush you.
Fuck.
Oh, no, it is.
No, it was a equaliser on a click by accident.
Did
It
you
was-
say one?
He's Stalin!
Didn't you say it? He
He
hit
did.
every single button on the soundboard. I can't fucking hear it.
He
I
said
said
Sterling.
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 Right. There's Albion. Albion Rovers. I couldn't hear it because he hit every single button on the soundboard.
Dumbarton.
Right now I am struggling. I don't even know how many we are in.
Clock is ticking. Gonna have to rush you.
I
Time.
can't. My mind's went blank.
He could have even said Arbroath, the one he tried to say before he was out of time the last time.
Right, well, anybody has to guess at the rest?
What have we not said? Arbroath,
Yep. I'm not doing the dings. I'm just going to say if you're right or wrong.
Wraith.
Wraith, yep.
That's 9 from the Championship. There's one other team missing from the Championship, which is Inverness.
Yep. We talked about them earlier.
Yep. There's 3 teams left from the League One, which are, he says, solely Montrose, Alloa, and someone else. Montrose, Alloa, and Falkirk has been
No.
said.
Right, time's getting on. Kelty,
That's it.
East Fife, Elgin, Steny.
Why is he still
There we
writing?
go. I'm not writing.
When
You
I
should
did
be
that,
writing in the first place.
when I did that, I got all 41 bar Steny. So made it
I
work
could have
last time.
carried on.
Okay, but time's getting on.
Got an ink in your pen.
New post-it note. Branded pen. Thank you, Mark.
And for this one, I'm not allowing any writing down. I don't care what you say, it's not happening for this one. I want all 32 teams who played in this season's Champions League group stages.
Oh Christ! I've got these. This was a question I was going to do at one point, so I know I've seen the answers to this ages ago. Oh, it's me to go first as well.
I said, I don't know.
Yeah, Manchester City,
Man City.
Rangers.
Hmm.
Liverpool,
Napoli.
Celtic,
Ajax.
Real Madrid,
Bayern Munich.
who else were in Man City's group? Why am I already struggling? That is absolutely
it's stolen.
terrible. Terrible of me. I'm trying to remember what you've said.
He
I'm
can't-
actually
Gonna
trying
have to
to-
rush you.
AC Milan,
PSG.
Inter,
Yeah.
Borussia Dortmund.
Ticking.
Wait, sorry, who's.
Gonna have
Sorry.
to rush you.
Dortmund, right.
Benfica,
I thought it was sure it was. That's why I clicked it.
Frankfurt.
Porto. Christ.
Yeah, this one might be a stab in the dark here, but I'm gonna go for it. Young boys. I thought it was wrong. I was taking ages to hit the button.
No.
You're gonna.
He's in anticipation.
Salzburg would have been my next one.
Salzburg. Yes, so you would have took the point. So that's 2-0.
That's.
We'll do the third one for good fun because I was quite.
Yeah, why not?
It inspired the whole thing. As you might know, there's a Alan McGregor testimonial coming up soon.
Oh Christ!
Rangers v Newcastle. So last time they played, I want both lineups and subs.
What year was it for a start?
Yeah,
I think it was 2013. I'd never actually checked that.
I need a year. Like I can't have. I think it was 2013. I want a year.
I could tell you some of the players.
Well, that's
Is that
no.
Is that not defeat the purpose?
Yeah, I was taking the piss.
That's fine. We'll do it without a year for the patter.
No, it was 7th. This article was 7th of August 2013, so it must have been
Pre-season friendly.
2013
Right.
summer.
Oh, you
Pre-season.
go, Robert.
When did Rangers go down? 2011 or 12?
2013 Newcastle United, 10 years ago, right. I'll have a stab, but on you go, Robert.
A minute.
Greg Wild.
Right, well, that's that over.
Yeah, Happy Cisse would have been my stab.
Yeah, he played.
Tim Krul.
Tim Krul, yeah.
Davide Santon would have been a stab in the dark. Ben Arfa. Demba
Ben Arfa
Ba,
played, Santon played,
Mike
Demba Ba,
Williamson.
no Ba, Williamson.
Oh no,
No.
it might have been too late for Demba Ba. No Williamson.
No.
That might have been somebody that tired. I conveniently seen 10 years ago, the other day was the anniversary of Papi Cisse's that brace against Chelsea, which included that lovely outside of the foot goal. And basically, I tried to recount players who I seen in that clip.
I'll read out the teams if you care.
Go for it.
So in goal for Rangers was Cameron Bell. Then it was Ricky Foster, Lee McCulloch, Bilal Mosney, and Lee Wallace in defence.
Christ.
God rest his soul, Arnold Peralta, Ian Black, Lewis McLeod, Nicky Law, Nicky Clark, and John Daly up front. On the bench was Scott Gallagher, Andy Little, Andy Murdoch, Robbie Crawford, Fraser Aird, Kyle McCausland, Barry Mackay, Chris Hegarty, Luca Gasparato, Seb Four, and Andy Mitchell.
That was the year that Greg Wild left. Oh well.
Newcastle was Tim Krul, Debussy, Taylor, Colaccini, Santon, Tiote, God rest his soul, Cabai, Sissoko, Ben Arfa, Gutierrez, and Cisse. Your bench was Elliot Dummett, Yangwa Mbiwa, Dan Goslin, Vernon Anita, Sylvian Marvu, Gouffran, and the Amiobe boys.
Christ. Both of them. Shola and Sammy.
Both on the bench.
That's how it's actually listed on the team sheet.
It's mental as well that Paul Dummett's still at Newcastle.
Oh well.
Just.
Mental.
It was fun.
I'm sorry, Kyle. Your rounds were good, but I think that was ruined by Greg.
Was it ruined by me?
Yeah. We've never done that, and you argued with him 1 week, so yeah.
I never argued
okay.
him on about writing them down. He could have asked me, can I write them down? I would have said yes.
You would have.
I like to do it from my head. It's more challenging.
Okay, I don't. I like to write things down.
Oh well, right, predictions.
Yes, predictions. Yeah,
I'm
another
sick of
thing.
this podcast.
That's twice he's had a strop because of me in this game.
I'm not having a strop. I would give you the satisfaction if I had a strop.
Anyway, predictions. Last week, Kyle can slump in his chair some more. He got 4 points. Robert got 4 points. I managed to get 7 points with 2 additional points stolen away from me in injury time by Spartans and Kelty. Thank you not very much for that. That takes the total scores to Robert, who has yet to break the 100 mark. He is on 98. Kyle is on 103, but his lead has evaporated with me now on 105.
I feel like these are right. These are like edited, obviously, because we are too thick to check it.
I mean, if you want to check it, you can check it.
Well, I can't be bothered. That's more what I'm meaning.
Rather take the loss and count it.
Yeah, not a fucking nerd.
It wasn't that when you were winning.
No, I'll just take your word for it.
He's rattled again.
No, you
Doesn't-
throw it.
doesn't-
You'll
I'll
bottle
bottle it. It's fine, yeah. Talking of bottling, the first game this week is Hibs v St Mirren. 5th versus 6th. Hibs have only 4 points from 15 in the 5 games before the split. St Mirren had 7, but no wins in their last 2. 2 wins for Hibs and 1 win for St Mirren in the 3 fixtures this year so far.
I'm looking at last week's fixtures, 2 sets.
Is it Hibs that we're on?
Yes.
I think
Oh.
Hibs. Actually, no, don't. St Mirren. Just remind St Mirren.
I'm going for a draw.
Hibs.
Hibs. Next game is St Johnstone versus Dundee United in the bottom 6. 9th v 10th, contrast in form. United off the back of 3 wins. St Johnstone are without a win in 7, but their last win was against Dundee United at Tannadice. I'm thinking it will be a United win once again.
Draw.
Dundee.
United.
United.
People get very touchy if you don't say United. You know, like some people earlier when they think you do say United. League One, since the Championship games are on Friday night, into League One, Alloa versus Dunfermline, battle for third. Alloa's win over Montrose cemented their playoff place, and they have 6 points from 15. Dunfermline have still only lost once this season, but their 12 draws is the most in the league.
Draw.
Dunfermline for me.
Dunfermline.
Other game in League One is Edinburgh versus Airdrie. Edinburgh will finish either 5th or 6th, but not in their best form with 5 points from 14, 15, I can't type. Airdrie have taken 6 points from 15, but are without a win in 3 after their loss to Queens at the weekend.
Airdrionians.
Airdrie for me as well.
I think it's a hat trick.
It's a hat-trick for Airdrie. Into League 2, first game is Albion versus Stirling Albion. Our fixtures in League 2 feature all 3 teams at the bottom. Albion need a win to get off the bottom and have a much better goal difference than the other teams around them. They face the champions, who haven't lost since the 3rd of December and are on a run of 19 unbeaten. The question is, are they on the beach?
Yes.
How
Draw.
fixed they are. Draw. That wouldn't be enough to stop Albion finishing bottom.
I think Stirling Albion win.
I'm also going for a Stirling win. Other game in League 2 is Bonnyrigg versus Elgin. 9th hosts 8th. Bonnyrigg could finish above Elgin, but the visitors can't go down. Bonnyrigg have 8 points from the last 15 available. Elgin have 7. The games so far this season have been 2 wins for Elgin and 1 win for Bonnyrigg. I'm going for Bonnyrigg.
Would you say another draw?
I'm going to say Elgin.
Elgin. Then we have 4 wildcards this week. The first one is in the English Premier League. It is Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Spurs are doing Spurs things with defeat after almost salvaging a draw against Liverpool, and they are now 4 without a win. Palace stemmed the run of 2 games without a win in their thriller against West Ham.
I think would be a draw.
I am going to back Spurs to put an end to this horrendous run.
See, I think Spurs will stop the rot.
Next game is in the Polish League. Thanks, Kyle, for picking these this week.
No bother.
It is Lech Poznan versus Cracovia. There are 4 games to go in this league, and it's 4th versus 7th, but Poznan are on a run with 3 without a win, whereas Cracovia are 3 unbeaten. I'm going for a draw.
I take it Poznan or higher.
Poznan are in 3rd, yeah. 4th, sorry, yeah.
I'll take Poznan.
A draw seems quite.
Yes. Into the Bundesliga for Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Bochum. 4 games to go in the Bundesliga as well. Gladbach are down in 10th and 3 without a win. Bochum are in the relegation playoff currently and could drop into the automatic places with a loss or rise to 14th with a win.
I think Borussia Mönchengladbach will be too strong for them.
I am also going for Die Fohlen.
Going for the Mönchengladbach boys.
Men would have been in more sense. Well,
Well, last game is in Serie A, and it's AC Milan versus Lazio. Before the Champions League Milan derby, AC play the second place Lazio, who are on a run of 2 straight losses. There are Serie A games today on Wednesday, so this information might be wrong by the time you hear it. Milan drew with Roma in our game from predictions last week.
I think this will be another draw because I think they'll be focusing on their big CL semi-final game.
I agree. I also think it will be a draw.
Back Lazio.
You bag Lazio. And thank you very much. That is the end of the predictions for this week.
And that brings us to an end for this week. Thank you very much, Greg, for that again. Your efforts appreciated. Yeah, that brings us to an end. Thank you very much for listening. We'll get these polls decided and up on Twitter and the Instagram, and maybe even on YouTube if I'm feeling cheeky, and maybe even on the Spotify vote. I am a cheat, that's it. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. Tune in next week. Remember to like and subscribe. Please subscribe. We need more, but thank you. See you later. Ciao.
Speed.
Champione.